Today we're diving into the really challenging but fascinating ideas of G.I. Gurdjieff. He was a philosopher who basically argued that most of us are asleep, even when our eyes are wide open. So we're going to break down his pretty radical path to actually waking up and unlocking your real potential. So let's just start with a really direct question for you. Think about your day so far. The things you've said, the feelings you've had, the stuff you've done. How much of it was a conscious choice you made in the moment, and how much of it was just automatic? And this quote right here, this is the core idea we're going to unpack. Gurdjieff believed we live in what he called a waking sleep, mistaking all our automated reactions and ingrained habits for a truly conscious life. It's a pretty startling thought, isn't it? But it might just hold the key to living a more authentic life.
All right, so let's really get into this whole waking sleep thing. What on earth does it actually mean to be asleep with your eyes wide open?
Gurdjieff had this term for it, the mechanical man. And it's pretty much what it sounds like. It's a life that's run by a script we didn't even write. Think about mindlessly scrolling on your phone, or that knee-jerk anger you feel at a news headline, or even just the canned phrases you say to people at work. Are you really there for it, or is it just a program running?
I mean, it's pretty simple when you think about it, right? You can't wake up if you don't even know you're dreaming. So the first, and honestly the hardest step, is just admitting to yourself that you're on autopilot. It's that moment the dreamer starts to suspect they're in a dream.
But why? Why are we so mechanical? Well, Gurdjieff's explanation is honestly fascinating. He said it's because we don't really have one single unified self. You see, we love to think of ourselves as this one solid, consistent person, a single I. But what Gurdjieff taught is, nope, we're more like a noisy, chaotic committee room full of little I's. There's the I that wants to get up early and exercise, and then there's the I that slams the snooze button. There's the confident I and the insecure I, and they are all fighting for the microphone. And that right there, that's why we contradict ourselves all the time. Have you ever made a big New Year's resolution, totally sincere, only to break it like a week later? Well, that's one I making a promise, and a totally different and much lazier I taking over when it's time to actually do the work. This inner civil war is what keeps us on autopilot.
Okay, so if we're all just sleeping robots full of fighting eyes, what's the fix? Is there a way out? This is where Gurdjieff introduces his solution, a system he called the work.
Now, the work isn't some philosophy you just read about and nod your head to. No. It's an active, hands-on, get-your-hands-dirty practice. The whole goal is to stop being this scattered collection of warring factions and to actually forge a real unified I through conscious effort. It's about becoming the master of your own inner house for once.
So, how do you do the work? Well, the absolute cornerstone, the foundation of it all, is self-observation. But listen, this isn't just zoning out or daydreaming. It's a real skill. It means doing something simple like washing the dishes, while also being aware of your posture, your breathing, and the thoughts running through your head. It means feeling anger rise up inside you, but watching it like a passing cloud instead of letting it become you.
And look, let's be real. This is incredibly hard. Your mechanical self doesn't just give up without a fight. We get totally lost in our thoughts. That's identification. We drift away into fantasies. We let one bad mood completely ruin our entire day. And maybe worst of all, we have that constant chattering voice in our heads that just drowns everything else out.
So to help us navigate all these obstacles, Gurdjieff gave us a kind of user manual for our own inner machinery. He taught that we have 3 different brains, or centers, that process the world in totally different ways. He identified an intellectual center in our head for logic, an emotional center in our chest for feelings, and a moving center in our body for instinct and action. Now, the problem isn't the centers themselves. It's that they're all out of whack, and we use them for the wrong jobs. We use our thinking brain to worry endlessly instead of to solve problems. We use our emotional center to just react instead of to truly feel. And our body just fidgets automatically instead of acting with purpose.
And this is such a key point. He saw all 3 of these as a form of intelligence. We live in a world that's obsessed with the head, with the intellectual brain, right? But he taught that developing our emotional intelligence and our physical, instinctual intelligence is just as crucial if we ever want to be whole, balanced people.
Okay, so this all might sound a little abstract, so let's bring it right down to earth. Let's get practical. This last section is all about actual exercises you can start doing, like, today.
But don't think of these as chores. They're more like dragon trials. These are challenges that are designed to make you face your automatic habits head-on, and then use that resistance as fuel for your own growth. So here are a few to get you rolling. Try the divided attention walk. Next time you're walking, just try to feel the soles of your feet hitting the pavement, while also trying to hold a little point of awareness inside your mind. It's harder than it sounds. Or the mechanical reaction journal. The next time you have an automatic emotional outburst, instead of getting lost in it, just make a mental note, or even write it down, without judging yourself. Each one of these is a small but powerful way to interrupt that waking sleep.
And this is the whole point. This is the end game. The goal isn't to become some kind of unfeeling robot. It's to become a fully, truly human being. An awakened person has all three of those centers working together in harmony. They can think with clarity from their head, feel with real depth from their heart, and act with intention and purpose from their body.
So we end right back where we started, with a question for you. Gurdjieff's system isn't something you just believe in. It's something you do. It's a path. It's a practice. It is the work. So the map is right here in front of you. The only real question is, are you going to take that first step?